Okay, so I'm trying to zoom in here on that woman in the red jacket, but I can't see, how this technology offers much of us an advantage at all. I think either it wasn't as good as advertised, or perhaps I just don't know how to use it right. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think what I have to admit, I guess, is that either there's some problem with the technology, or there's some problem with me, or perhaps both. And you know, anyway, so this history debunk guy, yeah, he's got some pretty interesting stories. He's talking about how in London there was a real rash of young Asian women committing suicide. By Asian, I don't mean Chinese and Japanese and Korean. And instead of looking into it to figure out, what's killing these young women, arranged marriages and that thing, probably that kind of thing. They redesigned the tube stations, particularly with more surveillance. So that's always what it is, right? To keep you safe, we have to restrict your freedoms, like they did with COVID. Can't go out, can't meet, can't express an opinion that goes against the established narrative coming from the experts. Yeah, it's always for because the only thing that people would really give up their freedoms for um, is safety. And you notice that the freedom to abuse your body in other ways, besides exposing yourself to the danger of COVID, eating too much, doing drugs, and all that. There's hardly any talk about it at all, right? Then there should be. If you're going to talk about, okay, what are the things that people are doing that are overwhelming the hospitals? Well, you want to go for alcohol and drug addiction and obesity-related things. I mean, if you really wanted to reduce the congestion in the hospital, that is what you would do. But that isn't what they do, is it? They've got to keep us drinking and doing drugs and eating too much. And they're docile. Because you're docile. All you do is eat and smoke pot. Anyway, yeah, so London tube passengers are inconvenienced because the government didn't have the balls to figure out what was happening to these young women. Astounding. I want to do a little shout out to Nigel Farage, just something he did. Like, this is a year ago, but I just think this is so extraordinary. He got himself a little boat and he took it across the English Channel halfway, and he met the French Navy that was delivering refugees to the British Navy, who were taking them on shore. And then he followed them, and this is when people in England were going, yeah, enough with the immigration and refugees. We wanted to slow it down for a while. That's the Well, it's after Brexit. Nigel Farage. Brexit wouldn't happen without Nigel Farage. So anyway, the refugees come to Britain, and then he follows them to the hotel, and those are swank hotels, man. Really nice place. But what's happening is that whoever runs the hotels must be getting just an astoundingly large amount of money for trying to house these people, because they're pretty unmanageable. And there's one in Toronto as well. They're kind of locked into hotel rooms. Hotels are okay for a weekend. They're not that great for a long stay. Yeah, so and they're from really chaotic places. And slowly what happens is that the hotels get trashed, and they're pretty unlivable places, right? It's happening in Toronto as well. Yeah, so that's how it goes, man. I think some of them, like I heard one, it was a really shitty hotel anyway. It looked good from the outside in northern England. And yeah, the weird thing there is that just the first two or three floors or something, I think, were rented out like that, like a big government contract to house refugees, right? And the top three floors, I think they put the refugees on the top three floors actually. And the guests were saying like, man, this is dangerous, right? Some guy took a piss in the elevator when I was standing there, right? Like that kind of just outrageous shit, right? And yeah, that's how it goes, man. Okay, I want to have take an official position. I think Canada is really successful at welcoming refugees, or refugees, immigrants, let's say, salt of the earth people, Filipinos especially. Hindus are nice. Can't say I was expecting that, but definitely true. Wow, I mean, kind of unreal actually. I mean, they have their own religions and languages and stuff like that, but they have a pretty long history, probably with the British system. Britain left them with their parliament, their laws, the railways, all that stuff, right? So Hindus have a lot of respect for England, I think, and Canada's a member of the Commonwealth. They respect Canada as well. Salt of the earth people.